Jared here with CarBuzz.com, bringing you an exclusive first look at the 2023 Toyota Sequoia. Toyota just pulled the wraps off of this brand new full-size SUV, and there is a lot to talk about because the last time Toyota introduced a new Sequoia was in 2007, so it's been a lot of years. This new Sequoia rides on the same TNGA-F platform as the Tundra pickup truck, just like the last Sequoia, so there are a lot of changes to talk about. We've got the Capstone trim level here, the most luxurious model. They didn't have that in the last generation. We've got this big chrome grille with the honeycomb design, looks great. You can see the Toyota logo has the little blue accents here. That's gonna let you know that this is a hybrid. All Sequoia models from the base model up are going to be Toyota's iForce Max hybrid technology. So we have a 3.5-liter twin turbocharged V6 mated to a 10-speed automatic rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, producing 437 horsepower. That is great for this class, but wait for this, 583 pound-feet of torque. That is fantastic for this class. I don't think anything else has more power than that, standard or optional. I love these new headlights that are very familiar. If you've seen the new Tundra, they look great. I'm loving this red color as well. As I mentioned, iForce Max, you see you get the badge right here on the grille, letting you know that you have the hybrid drivetrain with a little bit of blue accents. Because we have the Capstone, which is the most luxurious trim level, you can see that we have body-colored wheel arches right here, wrapped around these massive 22-inch wheels. These things look great. I thought that the overall proportions of the Sequoia looked a little bit weird in photos, but I'm telling you, in person, it looks fantastic. Here at the back, we see a radical new taillight design from what we saw on the previous generation Sequoia. They've managed to keep the big Sequoia badging written across the back here in chrome on the Capstone model, which is quite cool. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up right here. Oh, we actually have an opening glass window. That's really interesting. I didn't know it had that feature, but it's kind of nice. You can stick stuff out of the back here or just open that up real quick if you want to shove something back there real quick and don't want to open up the full tailgate, which can be done right here. So now let's go ahead and open it up. Power tailgate, you can do hands-free as well. This is quite interesting. We have this load floor here with these little flaps so you can make it flat. It's kind of an interesting design here. So as you can see, we currently have the third row up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this parcel shelf down. This is a really interesting thing here on the new Sequoia. So we do have power seats. I can go ahead and tap these buttons. I can just take my hand off. They're gonna fold flat, as you can see. But because the Sequoia is a hybrid, as I mentioned, you've got batteries and stuff under here, so they weren't able to package this as flat as you're going to be getting in some other SUVs. Now, to mitigate that, because we have all these tiers here, what you can now do is pick up this partial shelf and put it into the middle position right here, and then you can go ahead and fold this forward like that, and now you can see we basically have a flat load floor. That is a really clever solution for what would otherwise be kind of a problem here on the Sequoia. Here in the interior, the Capstone is super luxurious. This is the nicest trim level of the Sequoia that you can get. Just like the Tundra Capstone, we have this white finish here on the top, black on the bottom. This is semi-aniline leather, the same kind of stuff that you'll get on the Lexus LS. We also have this beautiful, I think it's walnut wood trim here on the center console. We have more of that up here with this beautiful ambient lighting for Capstone, white leather all throughout here. We've got a ton of technology in this new Sequoia. The old one had like a 7-inch screen. Look at that, double the screen space. We've got this massive 14-inch touchscreen right here. We've got wireless charging. We've got a digital gauge cluster here as well. Big glass panoramic roof. Just a ton of technology here that I'm really excited to try out. Very similar cabin to what you'll find in the Tundra pickup truck. Here in the second row, you can get the Sequoia as an 8-seater with a bench, but the Capstone has these lovely captain's chairs that are heated and ventilated. That is a fantastic feature for a mainstream full-size SUV like this. Now, the seats do not slide forward and backwards, but as we check out the third row, you'll see that those do. We do also have a nice recline on these seats as well. In between the captain's chairs, you get this sort of mat right here for storage, and you get some cup holders here as well. We've got USBs galore for charging up our own devices. We have climate controls as well. We also have these awesome sunshades here in the second row, which is nice for your kids. Now, to get into the third row, we have this tip and tumble seat right here. So you just pull this trigger and it folds forward like that very easily, giving you a huge ingress and egress into the third row. The only issue is you can't have a car seat here because obviously the child would get crushed. You do have handles to do the same thing right here, so you just pull that and fold them forward. We've got 3 seats back here, so like I said, up to 8 seats total, or 7 if you have the captain's chairs. Not the biggest third row in the segment, but it is quite spacious back here. We do have these little electronic controls right here where I can recline this seat pretty far back and recline it up as well. I've got 2 cup holders on each side, ton of cup holders in this car as well. And Toyota says they've got a segment exclusive, and I believe it's industry exclusive, sliding third row. So as you can see, I don't have a ton of legroom back here, but if I pull this little handle right here, look at that. I can slide this so far back, and then look at how much legroom and knee room I have right here. Now, that is going to impede your space in the cargo a little bit, but you can always slide it forward if you need a little bit more room. This is a super clever innovation from Toyota that I have not seen on any other full-size SUV. Want something a little bit more rugged and less luxurious? We've also got the Sequoia TRD Pro. The TRD Pro returns to the Sequoia. This is the most rugged and off-roady version of the Sequoia that you can buy. So if you want to take your family on a camping adventure, hiking, something like that, this is the trim you're going to want to buy. You can see we have a very different front end than what we saw on the Capstone. We've got the Toyota script that is a TRD Pro element. We've also got the wide marker lights. They look so mean and so cool. I'm really liking it in this white paint job as well. Smoked headlights give off a very different vibe than the sort of chromy look that we saw on the Capstone. Instead of the 22-inch wheels, we've got these smaller BBS forged TRD wheels. They look fantastic, finished all in black with the red TRD accents. BBS forged written right here, Pro on the side with these much more rugged all-terrain tires as well. And you can see the outside has this sort of digital camo design, giving it that more rugged look. And instead of iForce Max up here, we've got our TRD Pro badge, letting you know that you have the most rugged Sequoia possible. Black mirror caps, we've got the black A-pillar right here, and then instead of power retractable running boards like you get on the Capstone, you get these much tougher units. You know, these won't get damaged when you're taking the TRD Pro off-road. Here on the inside, the TRD Pro is not quite as luxurious as the Capstone. We've got these cool leather seats with this sort of camo design, TRD Pro stitched on to the seat backs. We've got a very different type of steering wheel than we got on the Capstone. We've got TRD on the bottom. We've got this little 12 o'clock marker. There is our digital gauge cluster. We've got the same 14-inch screen, but we have way more red accents. We've got this cool red handle with TRD. Instead of the wood, we've got a little bit of a more basic plastic, but still heated and ventilated seats. I'm loving this accent, this big Toyota that mimics the grille there on the dashboard. That is a really cool element. Unlike the Capstone, we have a normal sunroof, no panoramic here. So this is definitely a step down in terms of luxury, but in terms of sportiness, it looks really cool in here. Just like the previous model, the TRD Pro still gets the captain's chairs. We do have the 3-row seat there in the back. So if you want to get the full 8-seater, I think you're going to have to step down on the Tundra trim levels and not go for one of the higher trim levels like the TRD Pro or the Capstone. Now, these captain's chairs are not heated and ventilated like on the Capstone. So again, this is not the most luxurious trim level you can get, but it is the most rugged. We've also got Fox Racing suspension there, which is quite cool. So again, this is the Sequoia that you're going to want to buy for those family adventures. We really hope you've enjoyed this first look at the 2023 Toyota Sequoia. We're hoping to get you a first drive of the Sequoia later this year. Toyota says that they should be in showrooms in the summer. There will be 5 trim levels available: SR5, Limited, Platinum, TRD Pro, and that luxury Capstone model that we showed you earlier. I think that with the standard hybrid powertrain, the 9,000 pounds of towing, that awesome interior, this is set to shake up the full-size SUV market. I think it's going to be a total hit for Toyota. If you liked this video, be sure to leave a like. That would help us out a lot. Subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell to be alerted of our latest videos. And if you want to read more about the 2023 Sequoia, go ahead and check out carbuzz.com. I'll see you next time.